Let us pray. We call the benevolent beings of light, archangels, and ascended masters to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. Amen.
What you send out comes back. What you sow, you reap. What you give, you get. What you see in others exists in you. Do not judge, so you will not be judged. Radiate and give love. Profound, perfectly said. They were two very magnificent presentation of what we need to know. Tonight's topic is inner transformation. And I would like just to announce to those that will be watching this video on YouTube that we're going to post those two videos at the end of the discourse and the summary and the prayers. So if you want to stay on after that and watch them, it will be well worth your while. Every week we do present a different group of videos and quotes that are very helpful to all of us. I want you to be aware of what Michelle was telling us, that it is in the light itself that activates all of your great gifts and talents. Your DNA is still intact, although people say all the time that it's been manipulated and yada, yada, yada. Don't worry about all of that talk. Your DNA is intact, waiting for you to reach a certain frequency. And then it starts to unfold and the gifts and talents start to be used. You don't realize it at first. And then you start realizing it as time goes on. Some of it's profound. Some of it is it just could be you doing this on your own, but you'll start to see more and more that it is more than just the personality. It's your higher self coming through. The telepathy, being able to hear and know through the ability to hear the voice of someone's thoughts, not just what they're saying out loud, that you can read their energy fields. Most of you on this call are actually able to feel the energy in other people's fields that you're with. And it gives you an indication that they need something or they need help or whatever it may be. And your instincts kick in. Believe me, you are already doing a lot of this, what we're talking about, the unfolding of your higher gifts. It is a time for us to realize that from the first video, the anxiety, fear, jealousy, and regrets that they talked about, all for us to realize they're natural. This is what we all go through, but it's how we deal with it, what we do with it, that counts for us. If we avoid and push it down, it will come back and again and again. And if you want that cycle to stop, you have to unload what it is coming up, not push it down or ignore it. When you are with somebody and they trigger anxiety or fear or jealousy or regret, use that energy that's right there, what you're feeling at that moment, and let that process of release come up. You don't have to name it, just feel it. If you feel jealous, deal with it. Get rid of it. It's ugly. It hurts. There's nothing to be jealous about. but we do feel it. And that's an indicator we need to get to work inside. Just let the feeling go, cry it out, or get angry that you don't have, or that you don't have what someone else does. If you keep having episodes of anxiety because life seems overwhelming and you're unable to cope with it, deal with it. Tell God you don't want to feel this way anymore. Get yourself in your center and look at what's making you feel that way. And then let it go. Give it to God. Give it to God with all your heart and soul. Mean it that you don't want it anymore. Your higher self is waiting for you to say those words. And your higher self gets right to work with you. See, we can pray all day and all night, week after week. But if we don't do the work, God's not going to do it for us. We're the only ones that can save ourselves. You see, we have everything we need to do it, and all the help around us to help us. They're rooting us on like cheerleaders. We have to do the work. If you're afraid, let go of that fear. Fear is a belief system. It isn't a real thing, and you can let it go. I used to sleep with my nails digging into my hands when I was young. I was scared to death of everything. And even as I got older, I felt it differently. I got more aggressive, feeling that if I got more aggressive, I would show my strength and I wouldn't have to be afraid of anything. And then I learned none of that is necessary. I just had to unload the feeling. Any fear that I had come to me, I walked right through the fire and it went away because I no longer was willing to go into fear. I was ready to stand tall, knowing who I am. You are God in a body, having an experience here in this matrix. If God is with you, which God is, who could be against you? The only thing you need to fear is what you hold inside you that causes you to feel that way. The uncertainty. Jealousy. I always said to myself, I've always been happy for everybody, for anything that goes good in their life. And then one day, something happened. A dear friend got something that I had wanted for my whole life. And all of a sudden, this strange uneasiness came over me, and I wanted to know what it was. And when I sat with it, I said, I think I'm jealous. Oh my God, what a horrible feeling this was. So I cried. I cried because it was ugly. I cried because I felt it was so wrong, because I really was happy for her. And I let it go. And then another time something happened and I didn't feel that way. I felt joy for them. And I realized I worked it out of my system. Appreciate that the events happen so you have opportunities to let it go. Regret. It's a big one. Did you ever sit there mulling over, I should have said this, and if I only did that, and if I had said what I needed to say? Guess what? It's okay. You'll get plenty of opportunities. Same situation, maybe a different person. Nothing's lost. So why waste energy on something that's not going to help you? Be grateful that you learned from the experience, and the next time it happens, you're going to see you'll do better. You might not be 100%, but eventually you will. It's all about the desire that you have to heal. I want to be free. See, freedom isn't outside you. Freedom comes from within you, within your own fields, your own mind. You give yourself freedom when you let go of the things that, all these rules that you set for yourself, that from maybe trying to prove all the time that you're worthy, or that you can do this, or you're in command, or whatever it is for you. Whatever it is for you. Just feel it deeply and tell God, I don't want it anymore. Even if you don't cry it out or yell it out because the emotion isn't there, be firm on what you want and tell God exactly, I don't want to do this anymore. And be grateful to the person that showed you this. I had a couple of things happen today that really was an eye-opener, a real eye-opener. And I can tell you, I was so grateful, even though it was a complete misunderstanding and conjecture and everything else. I realized, you know what? All you've got to do is know who you are, know what your intent was, and then send blessings to those that don't understand, that misunderstood, or in any way were offended by you. The brighter your light, some people are going to be very offended because it's going to be like a fire on them in the places that they have shadows and haven't worked on it yet. So don't be offended when people are shunning you or arguing with you or not agreeing or whatever the case may be. You know your intent is in love and you hold true to that. I meant well. That's all you've got to know. If you went into it to hurt somebody, know that too. And that would be something you'd want to heal in you. You see? Make life a journey. Don't wake up and pull the covers over your head and say, I'm not going out there. I'm not going to let anything happen to me. No, go out there, enjoy and love, and be who you are. Know who you are. Do the best you can. Bring joy when there is none. It doesn't cost you anything to be a being of light. You see, you don't have to give presents. You don't have to spend money. You just have to spend time. Hold out your hand. Be willing to take time out of your day if somebody needs you. When you practice this, the joy that you have at being there for someone who really didn't understand, that was so lost, that was so scared. If you can do that, you've done a good job today. And don't forget you. Yeah, a lot of people just forget themselves completely. They're so busy serving everybody else. You came in here to heal you and love you, not just give of you. If you love yourself and take care of yourself, and you go out and you help others, you won't be depleted. I can work for 12 hours with a couple of minutes in between, and I do not feel tired. I feel invigorated. God never gives you more than you can handle. But a lot of people who suffer from anxiety overdo it. They overstep what they are capable of doing in a day, and they feel like they are completely out of sorts. And you are, because you're exhausted mentally, emotionally, and perhaps physically, depending on what the circumstance was. Inner transformation is honoring your feelings, realizing they're very real. And in order for you to heal, all you got to do is make up your mind. You don't want to be in this predicament anymore. I don't want to feel like this anymore. Like the examples they gave, anxiety, fear, jealousy, and regret. Oh, they're so painful. They hurt so much. There's nothing to regret because everything was absolutely perfectly orchestrated for the good of you and others that you're with. You see? So what's to regret? I had to learn this. It took a long time, but I did it. There's nothing to regret. It all happened for a reason. Jealousy, that hurts a lot. We've all felt it. But you don't have to go there. Think of the abundance that you have. So if you live in gratitude, you'll never feel jealous because you'll realize how much is given to you from the universe. Make sure if there is something that you feel lacking of, get rid of the lack and be grateful for everything. And all of that will just shower you in abundance. And remember, abundance isn't just money. It's a lot more, a lot more. Very valuable. The fear thing takes a lot of work to get over the fears in life because everything is, all the media, everywhere you go, everybody's frightened about something. If you live in fear, you're going to draw it to you, circumstances to bring you more fear. Remember, we're creating our life. So you want to stay out of that frame of mind. First of all, it lowers your frequency pretty bad. And it ruins your life because you're just afraid to do anything. And you miss so many opportunities to enjoy your life. So fear, when it comes over you, say no. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to face this and I'm going to walk right through it. I ask for help from my higher self and everybody around me, and I walk with my head high. And boy, when I come out the other side, I got to take a rest. Yeah, because wow, I did it. And every time you overcome a fear, it's over. You won't have that same fear ever again. Yeah, it's amazing because this work of releasing everything is what brings in more light so that you don't have to be in that frequency anymore where you were suffering. Anxiety. I know what it feels like to be anxious, to face something or to do something for the first time, and you're not sure if you can pull it off. Yeah, I know what that feels like. When I was on my trips, traveling around the world, having to face all these different rules and protocol, and yeah, I was the first trip a basket case. And then after that, I realized, guess what? Since we're all here working for God, doing God's work on the earth, I'm on assignment. I have nothing to fear because God will provide everything you need to accomplish. Remember that. There's nothing to be anxious about. And usually it's just that you overwhelm yourself and you just can't undo it. Talk to someone who is very calm and centered, and they'll pull you back to center. It works. It really does. If you can't do it on your own, I would sit down if you don't have anyone that you want to talk to and just start hyperventilating, breathing very deeply in and out, in and out, in and out. And in that breath, you're taking in more of the light and love of God. And it literally will bring you back to center very quickly. I had something happen. It was a big crisis, very, very, very scary. And I felt the anxiety to the point where I didn't know what I was going to do. So I sat down and did exactly that. And it didn't even take me 3 minutes. And I was absolutely back to center, completely, perfectly fine. Same situation. Everything was still happening, but I brought myself back to center. Very important in these days. Very, very volatile energy around us. Very much so. But I just want you to know you're not a victim ever of anything or anyone. Nobody has power over you unless you give it to them. Your inner transformation is to know this. You've got to set yourself in a position where you understand the power that is in you as light and love, and use it well. And if you make a mistake, to forgive yourself and make amends. Do the best you can. Some people you can't make amends with because they are so wrapped up in their own egos. But you can send them love and light and forgive them. You see? Just do the right thing for you, and you will do the right thing for everyone around you. No more regrets, anxiety, fear, jealousy. No more. There's nothing, no place to go there. There's just joy and gratefulness. Be grateful, even if you're in the midst of a rough time. Be grateful to God. And do what you need to do with your emotions. Because all of those things that was on that list, the regrets too, they're all emotions. Everything's energy. And you can lift that energy right into a higher frequency by recognizing it, wanting it to go, and then doing something about it. You are the master of your house, your body. You can do anything, and that is how you heal it. That is how you heal it. But not just that body, your emotional body, your mental body, your etheric double is fine, and your physical body. You have the power to do this. This inner transformation starts within you. And then your life starts to change. And you start to draw the most beautiful people to you. That's when you can say, I have a beautiful life. I really do. But you earn it by your behavior, by your decisions, and by the work that you're willing to do. Check the time. A couple of minutes more. So I want to say the inner transformation that we're going through is happening on a schedule, just like we wrote it in our script. We can fight it. We can go off track. Do you want to? We're running out of time. We really want to be absolutely as clean as we can get ourselves, because I'm telling you, if you think 2024 is going to be easier, the intensity of the light increases, and that will be going right through your body, just like in the visual of Michelle Fielding's video, going right through your body, this higher frequency that's coming, always lifting higher and higher. And when you go into a new year, it's reset, and it's going to find every spot within you and bring it up. That's why she was saying, as wonderful as it is that we're going up, we're also going deeper into our hell worlds. This is what I call it. Where in the bowel is where you're hidden a lot of the things that you haven't dealt with yet, the shadow. Don't be afraid of it. It's been inside you for so long. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's like stale food in the back of the fridge. Get rid of it. You're not going to eat it. And you're not going to express these lower frequency habits and beliefs anymore. You're not going to. It doesn't work. It's like clothes that you save from 20 years ago and you look at it and go, I wore those colors and I wore that. I would never wear it now. Helps you to empty out your closet, right? Well, same way here. We're emptying out our house, our fields, our bodies, to get into that higher mind and that sacred heart and operate just out of those two. The ego goes to sleep, no longer in service. Your brain can rest most of the time, and other times when you need it, it works. But you'll be free. You'll be free from the pain. And then you'll know what life was meant to be. Almost there. So even though there's a couple of minutes left, I'm going to close here and I'll save the rest for the summary. And I want to thank you so much for your attention and for listening so well. You really help to bring the frequency up. And I can tell you more from that level than I can if you're distracted or if you're busy or you're not at one with me, because we all plug into each other's hearts. And I can feel everything. I can feel if somebody doesn't agree. I can feel when somebody is just distracted or saying, boy, I'd rather have a sandwich right now. I'm really hungry. And the growling of the stomachs are happening. And I can feel that too. So the summary tonight on inner transformation. What we learned from all of this, from the videos, from the discourse, from the questions and answers, and how we manage our life, it's unfolding everything that you need. You need to see yourself in everyone. You need to feel your feelings to completely, not at all making it nice when it's not. We need to make the decision of what we want in our life and what we don't, what we fear, what we look at in a negative way. Get rid of all of that. Judgment does not help anything. As you practice that, it gets easier and easier, and you start to see the wisdom in it. The inner transformation is exactly that. It starts within you. And as you heal inside and lift your frequency, because there's much more light available to you, you're going to find out your life outside will change as well. Things that you felt was overwhelming or you were unable to face it becomes a different task for you. You know who you are, you know what you need to do, and you do it. It's when you don't take care of things and let it build up that you become completely and utterly overwhelmed. It's like letting the mail build up and the bills are stacking up and your checkbook only has so much money in it. If you paid it right along and you maybe got some income coming in between, it won't hurt so bad. So I make it a practice of paying my bills within 24 to 48 hours of them arriving. That's how I deal with it, because otherwise, if I saved it up for weeks on end, I would totally not be able to do it emotionally, mentally. And anyway, I like to make sure I keep up with things because it's respectful to the people that gave us service. You see? So living your life, giving what you want to receive, brings you the gifts that you would feel satisfied with. In other words, if you're not giving out what you're demanding for yourself, then you're just putting out into the universe what's going to come back to you as a very unhappy situation, because it won't match what you desire. You see? So be very cognizant of your behavior with other people. It's when I remember speaking to someone at the electric company, and she had had quite a few calls earlier, people screaming bloody murder because they keep getting these brownouts and they have to reset their clocks, and it makes some bulbs can't handle it, and so on and so forth. And I got on and I had the most pleasant conversation with her. And she said, honest to God, she said, you just saved me, because I was ready to just go home. And I said, I understand. I really do. I said, but people are people and they're going to say and do what they do. But it's how you respond to it or react to it is how it's going to make you feel in the end and what you can accomplish. So always keep that in mind. If you approach things with a calm demeanor, without shouting, without demanding, people will want to help you. They will want to help you. They may not want to help somebody that's attacking them or blaming them for something they have absolutely nothing to do. But they will go out of their way for someone nice. And what a blessing back to you, because then that comes back to you as a gift when you're with somebody else, and you'll draw that kind of energy back to you. It's a beautiful circle of life. It really is, like from the Lion King, very, very beautiful. So all of you, concentrate on enjoying your life. When things come up, deal with it then. Don't try to look for things to heal. Believe me, life will bring you exactly what you need on the day that you're ready to do it. Other than that, go out there and just be the light in the world. Enjoy being alive. Be grateful for everything that you have. Every time you eat a meal, be grateful for that food. Just love your life. Find the joy in it, and the things that aren't joyous, deal with it. Deal with it because it has to do with what you hold inside as a belief or a pattern that you've always done, but it isn't serving you anymore. Not at this stage of your life, not at this stage of your evolution. It's a mighty, beautiful end to a cycle. 26,000 years of working through our lives over and over and over till we got it. Do you get it? It really is easy to get it, but then you have to act on that. You have to actually do it. The work must be done by you. God won't save you. None of your master teachers will save you. Your higher self is waiting for you to save you. It's all up to you. Make the choice and then carry through. You will feel so much better. You will feel such a sense of peace in your life. Everybody will feel that peace that you have, and they will want a piece of that. And then they'll start emulating you. It's the miracle that happens. The light coming from you lifts the world around you. Remember, there's nothing to fear. Nothing. Just go out there and be you. Don't hold back. And don't be you just with certain people. Be you all the time. And if somebody doesn't like it, it's too bad, because you need to be true to yourself. And when you are, you gain confidence, and you gain strength, and you can go out there and you can talk to anybody. A king, are they any different than you other than how they dress or the position they're in? No. No. And as long as you know that inside you, you can stand up to anybody. There's nobody that you can't stand strong to. I don't mean, challenge them. I just mean stand there and whatever you came to do, do it. And you will be feeling every time you do it, you'll get more strength and capability to do it wherever you go. Because remember, even though sometimes you feel like somebody's got it way over you, they don't. They just put on a great show. I have worked with so many personalities, people in very high places and people just like us, just getting along, going through life. But I'll tell you what, The same rules are for everybody, not just the rich and famous and people in power. It's for all of us. Just be you. People appreciate that. God sent you here to be you. Not just with certain people that you feel safe with, wherever you go. Because that's why you're here. So your inner transformation is happening on a regular scale and a schedule that you've written. Don't try to force anything or control it. Just live your life and keep watching yourself grow. And when you feel upset, take care of it. This way the light will come into you and your evolutionary journey can be speeded up because of your willingness to empty out the shadow.
Let us pray. We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention, your wonderful questions, future topic suggestions, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guide and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency ever higher. We are grateful for their assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. Know that we are all deeply loved and richly blessed. Amen.
Often, when we encounter tough emotions, we fall into two traps. The first is the fix-it frenzy. Feel a wave of worry. There's that inner critic telling you to toughen up, as if scolding yourself could magically erase anxiety. Then there's the escape route. Who wouldn't want to dodge pain? We might try to distract ourselves or seek comfort in food or other escapes. But here's the thing, you can't outrun your own mind, nor the emotions that dwell within it. Treating these emotions as problems teaches our brain to fear them, leading us into a cycle of emotional distress. You end up feeling bad for feeling bad, a spiral that only deepens our emotional pain. But what if there's a way out of this cycle? By tuning into our emotions, rather than dodging them, we unlock the power of insight. Believe it or not, emotions like anxiety or sadness aren't your enemies. They're natural and a part of being human. They're like signals on your car's dashboard, often pointing to something crucial we need to address. We also unlock resilience. When we stop trying to fix or flee from our emotions and start listening, our brain learns they're not threats. This shift helps reduce the added layer of pain, the turmoil of feeling bad about feeling bad. In this video, we're going to dive into 4 challenging emotions that many try to avoid or fix. I'll guide you on how to approach and understand them, potentially leading to surprising insights and a sense of relief. 1. Irritability. Irritability is often misunderstood as a simple reaction to minor annoyances, but in reality, it's a complex emotion with deeper implications. This feeling isn't just a byproduct of circumstances like hormonal changes or challenging work environments. It's a signal pointing to more significant issues beneath the surface. One of the critical insights about irritability is its connection to unmet expectations. For example, you might find yourself getting irritable with colleagues who don't meet deadlines. This could be a sign that you need to clarify your expectations or perhaps reassess the team's capabilities. It's about aligning reality with your expectations, a task that often requires honest reflection and communication. Moreover, irritability can be a nudge towards more assertive communication. Many of us avoid assertiveness for fear of conflict, preferring to maintain peace even at the cost of our own comfort. However, this avoidance can lead to a buildup of frustration. By learning to express your thoughts and feelings clearly yet respectfully, you can reduce the frequency and intensity of irritability. Another aspect to consider is how irritability often flags issues with personal boundaries. If certain conversations or situations consistently trigger this emotion, it might indicate that your boundaries are being pushed. Acknowledging and communicating these boundaries is essential for maintaining healthy and respectful relationships. At times, irritability arises from our own unrealistic or unexamined expectations. When we feel irritated, it's worth asking ourselves why and whether our expectations are realistic. This introspection can lead to more self-awareness and better alignment with our environment and the people in it. Irritability can also be a call for self-care. Especially when it's chronic, it might be your mind's way of signaling burnout or excessive stress. It's important to heed this call by slowing down, engaging in relaxing activities, or seeking support. Assertiveness is a key skill in managing irritability. Developing the ability to express yourself effectively and stand up for your beliefs while respecting others can be transformative. It turns irritability from a source of distress into a tool for positive change. In essence, irritability isn't just a reaction to external factors. It's a multifaceted emotion that can serve as a valuable messenger. By understanding and addressing its root causes, we can improve our communication, strengthen relationships, and enhance personal growth. It's an emotion that, when listened to, can lead to profound insights and improvements in our daily lives. 2. Fear. Fear, a fundamental human emotion, often carries a negative connotation, viewed as something to overcome or suppress. However, fear plays a critical role in our survival and can be an insightful guide in understanding our deeper needs and vulnerabilities. At its essence, fear is a protective mechanism. It signals potential dangers and prepares our body to respond, whether through fight, flight, or freeze. This primal response, deeply ingrained in our biology, has been crucial for human survival. Yet, in modern times, the triggers of fear are often less about physical danger and more about psychological or emotional threats. One of the primary functions of fear is to highlight our need for safety. This can manifest in various forms: physical safety, emotional security, or even financial stability. For example, fear of financial insecurity might motivate us to save and plan for the future, while fear of emotional vulnerability might prompt us to build stronger, more trusting relationships. Fear can also point to areas where we feel unprepared or lack confidence. For instance, the fear of public speaking often reveals underlying insecurities about self-expression or being judged. Similarly, fear of failure may uncover deep-seated beliefs about self-worth and success. Understanding and addressing these fears requires a compassionate, introspective approach. Acknowledging and exploring our fears, rather than avoiding or suppressing them, can lead to valuable insights. It involves asking ourselves what these fears are truly about and what they are trying to tell us. Another critical aspect of fear is its connection to our boundaries and limits. Fear can serve as a reminder to respect our own limits and to communicate these boundaries to others. It teaches us about our comfort zones and when it might be beneficial to push beyond them, as well as when to honor them. In dealing with fear, one effective approach is to gradually expose ourselves to the source of our fear in a controlled and safe manner. This process, known as desensitization, helps in reducing the intensity of the fear response over time. For example, someone afraid of heights might start by visiting tall buildings and gradually work up to more challenging situations. Moreover, fear can be a catalyst for personal growth and resilience building. Facing and overcoming our fears can lead to a sense of accomplishment and increased self-confidence. It's about transforming fear from a debilitating force into a source of strength and motivation. Fear, when understood and managed effectively, is not just an emotion to be feared or avoided. It's a complex and informative experience that, when navigated wisely, can lead to significant personal growth, deeper self-awareness, and enhanced life experiences. By embracing and learning from our fears, we can use them as tools for self-improvement and empowerment. 3. Jealousy. Jealousy is an emotion that often carries a negative connotation, described as gross or uncomfortable by many. It's crucial to distinguish between feeling jealous and acting on that jealousy. Acting on jealousy, such as spreading rumors or engaging in unfaithful behavior, is widely regarded as harmful and morally questionable. However, feeling jealous is a different matter altogether.
Somebody
It's
is
an
not
emotional
muted.
response, not a deliberate action, and therefore not subject to moral judgment. Understanding jealousy requires recognizing it as an involuntary emotional reaction. No one has ever faced legal or ethical consequences for simply feeling jealous. The moral implications arise only from our actions in response to these feelings. Interestingly, while we tend to be more understanding and less judgmental towards others who experience jealousy, we often fail to extend the same empathy to ourselves. This self-criticism for merely experiencing a natural emotion is both unfair and unproductive. At its core, jealousy often signals an unfulfilled need or desire within us. For instance, feeling jealous of a colleague who receives more recognition might indicate a desire for more acknowledgement in your own life. Similarly, envy towards a friend's romantic relationship could be revealing a longing for deeper intimacy in your own relationships. Jealousy then can be seen as a messenger from our subconscious, highlighting areas in our lives where we feel lacking or unfulfilled. Instead of condemning ourselves for feeling jealous, a more constructive approach is to ask, what is this jealousy trying to tell me? This perspective encourages introspection and personal growth. If you find yourself regularly feeling jealous, it might be beneficial to reflect on what you truly desire in life and why certain achievements or possessions of others trigger these feelings. This self-exploration can lead to valuable insights about your values, aspirations, and the areas in your life that may need more attention or change. In the realm of jealousy, the famous quote by Bette Midler resonates deeply. The worst part of success is trying to find someone who is happy for you. This highlights the complex nature of jealousy, reflecting more about our own state of mind and fulfillment than about the successes or attributes of others. Jealousy can also be a mirror reflecting our insecurities and internal struggles. It often points to issues like low self-esteem, insecurity, or unaddressed personal aspirations. Recognizing and addressing these underlying issues can not only alleviate feelings of jealousy, but also contribute to a more grounded and contented state of being. In managing jealousy, it's important to cultivate self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Acknowledging and understanding your feelings of jealousy without judgment is the first step. From there, developing strategies such as focusing on personal growth, practicing gratitude for what you have, and setting realistic and personal goals can help transform jealousy from a source of distress into an opportunity for self-improvement and fulfillment. Ultimately, jealousy is not just a simple feeling to be dismissed or condemned. It's a complex and informative emotion that, when approached with curiosity and openness, can lead to profound self-discovery and personal development. By embracing this perspective, we can learn to navigate our feelings of jealousy in a way that is both healthy and growth-oriented. 4. Regret. Regret is a powerful emotion that often stirs within us when reflecting on past actions or inactions. Rather than merely a source of pain, regret can be a profound teacher, offering insights from our past and shaping our future choices. It serves as a reminder of the paths we've taken and, importantly, those we didn't. At its core, regret is about missed opportunities and choices we wish we had made differently. It's a common human experience to lament the roads not taken more of the mistakes we've made. This phenomenon reveals a fundamental truth about human nature. We are often more affected by the absence of experiences than by the experiences themselves. The opportunities we let slip by can haunt us, leaving us wondering what if. This sense of regret can be especially poignant when it comes to opportunities the universe presents to us. Whether it's a chance for love, a new career path, or a leap into the unknown, the fear of taking these steps can often lead to inaction. Yet, it is these very moments when we stand at the crossroads of decision that define the course of our lives. The lesson from regret, then, is to embrace the chances life offers. While not every opportunity will lead to success, the act of seizing these moments can be incredibly fulfilling. It's about living a life where you can look back and say, I gave it my all, rather than I wish I had tried. Understanding that regret is a natural part of the human experience can be comforting. It's a sentiment shared by everyone at some point in their lives, making it a relatable and universal emotion. Rather than dwelling on past regrets, we can use them as a springboard for future actions. They can motivate us to take chances when they come, to live more boldly, and to step out of our comfort zones. As you navigate life's journey, remember that it's often the risks we didn't take that we regret the most. So when the universe offers you a path, consider taking it. Even if it doesn't lead where you expect, the journey itself can be rich with learning and growth. Embrace the opportunities life presents. Each choice, each risk taken, is a step towards a fuller, more authentic life. Regrets may come, but they don't have to define us. Instead, let them teach us, guiding us towards living with courage, openness, and a willingness to embrace all that life has to offer. In the dance of life, it's often the steps we hesitate to take that hold the key to our most transformative experiences. So take those chances, live fully, and let your journey be one of exploration, learning, and growth. For more insight, make sure to check out our Patreon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Join our membership for additional support. Thank you for being here, and have a great day ahead.
Dearest one, a new world of light is being anchored into everyone's reality. It is awesome and it is chaotic, sometimes even traumatic, as it scours through our collective shadows, our collective trauma. Outbursts of rage, emotion, and turmoil will be witnessed in the collective as higher, finer, purer swathes of energies from the sun, the Creator, are sent to the planet Earth, Gaia. This process is ongoing and will continue to intensify, igniting strands of electrical energy within people's DNA. The DNA codes had been dormant, but will now be triggered and restarted, and people's latent skills will be prompted to awaken. Skills such as telepathy, instantaneous healing, clairvoyance, levitation. As more hearts energetically fly open, great changes in the quantum field sends ripples far and wide, affecting the whole of humanity. This process is both daunting and exhilarating. There are those at the front leading humanity forward with their strength, their love, their faith. The destination is a world where all humans will be imbued with the consciousness of Christ. A sublime and powerful energy of universal love for all brothers and sisters, for all animals, for all of nature, for all energetic cells, for all of God's layers within humanity and creation. Each day, our task is to be in our true essence, living with truth, with integrity, never harming another living soul, never engaging in harmful thoughts, words, or actions. Each day our task is to have compassion for the immense changes we are undergoing individually and collectively. Each day we learn to integrate all our energetic layers, conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. Each day we align all of our energetic centers from the past, the present, and the future. Each day we integrate with love, clarity, and peace. Each day we vibrate finer and purer, and we are very blessed. All souls undergoing change are embraced by beautiful beings of light, beings of love, beings of God's resonance. And angels descend to walk with you. This path is both arduous and exhilarating. Things that give great attainment need dedication, perseverance, faith, and love. Beings of light, you have all these qualities in abundance. You are very loved. You are eternally protected. But mostly, you are adorned and cherished by the cloak of God's love, the cloak of Christ consciousness, which helps you to walk with fortitude and courage. Archangel Michael is always protecting you and walking by your side. Beings of light, this is your time. Your task is to be resilient and walk steadfastly forward. God's love, God's light will guide you. You are very loved. Your good work does not go unnoticed. Star being, this is your time. This has been a channeling from Lord Maitreya, Archangel Michael, and the Council of Nine.